Lyra adjusted her helmet and scanned the alien horizon. The rocky canyon stretched before her, jagged cliffs cutting into the red sky. Her squad moved quietly, boots crunching over the broken stone. It was supposed to be a routine scouting mission, a simple survey of the outer asteroid belt, but the silence felt wrong. Too quiet. Cadet Lyra, sensors are picking up something, murmured Jax over the comm link, his voice tense. Small signatures moving fast. Could be wildlife, maybe a patrol drone. Lyra narrowed her eyes. Stay alert. Keep formation tight. Don't engage unless I say so. Her voice was calm, but her heart hammered. Something about the readings made the hairs on her neck stand straight. Then it happened. A low rumble shook the canyon floor. Dust and small rocks slid from the cliffs as a shadow fell across them. A massive alien ship, black and jagged like a living predator, dropped from the sky without warning. Its hull shimmered with strange bioluminescent patterns, almost like scales, and multiple appendages extended, each tipped with razor-sharp claws and energy emitters. Ambush! Lyra shouted. Scatter. Find cover. The cadets dove behind rocky outcrops as the predator ship fired a barrage of energy pulses. They struck the stone walls with bone-shaking impact, sending splinters flying. Sparks and smoke filled the air, and the alien vessel hovered with impossible precision. Its sensors scanned like hungry eyes hunting. Return fire. Lyra barked. She ducked behind a boulder and activated her plasma rifle, letting out a short, controlled burst. The shot struck the ship's hull, bouncing harmlessly off its energy shields. The aliens didn't flinch. The ship seemed alive, almost laughing at their attempts. From the shadows, small drones skittered out, fast and jagged. They moved like metallic spiders, claws clicking against stone. Jax rolled behind cover, firing his blaster, but one drone leapt at him. Sparks flew as claws scraped his armor. It's too fast, he yelled, barely dodging. Lyra's mind raced. There was no way to match the ship in pure firepower. But humans weren't meant to be predictable. She grabbed a small canister from her belt and whispered to herself, time to be clever. With careful aim, she lobbed it near the approaching drones. It detonated in a blinding flash, releasing an intense pulse of electromagnetic energy. The drones skidded and tumbled, their circuits sizzling. A few even fell into the canyon, disabled. Nice one, Lyra. Jax called, shaking the dust off his armor. You think that slowed them? Not enough, she said, eyes locked on the predator ship. Its appendages were sweeping the canyon, scanning for any moving heat. We need to move now. Stay low and watch each other's backs. The cadets darted between rocks, hearts pounding. Every step was measured, calculated. The alien ship adjusted instantly, lowering a clawed limb to swipe at them. One cadet, Rin, froze too long and the appendage slammed down nearby, sending a shockwave that knocked him against the canyon wall. He groaned, clutching his shoulder. Move, Rin. You're not dead yet. Lyra shouted. She grabbed his arm and dragged him behind cover, narrowly avoiding another strike. The ship pulsed with energy. A strange hum filled the canyon, vibrating through bones. Lyra realized it wasn't just a ship, it was hunting. It knew their patterns, reading their movements like a predator reading prey. Cadets, focus, she barked, adrenaline sharpening her mind. Use the shadows. Force it to overreach. They scattered into small alcoves, tricking the ship into splitting its attention. Lyra spotted an opening, a narrow crevice that led closer to the cliffs. She motioned. This way. One at a time. As they moved, she noticed something in the distance, a ripple in the air, subtle but strange. It wasn't the ship, it was something alive. Something forbidden. Her pulse quickened, but she forced herself to breathe. Humans had faced death before and they had always adapted. Keep your heads, she whispered to herself. We're not just running. We're setting the stage. A drone lunged at her, claws extended. Lyra rolled to the side, letting it slam into the rocks. Sparks sprayed across the canyon. She fired 3 controlled shots, hitting its core and watching it collapse into molten shards. Behind her, Rin coughed. Lyra, they're everywhere. They can't be everywhere, she said, eyes scanning. We just need to outsmart them. Use the terrain, use each other. Stick to the plan. The alien ship hovered above, glowing appendages slicing through the canyon air. Its hum grew louder, almost like a taunt. Lyra clenched her fists inside her gloves. She had no idea how they would survive the night, but one thing was clear. Humans were clever and humans never gave up. A small smile cracked her face. We'll make them regret underestimating us, she whispered. The squad followed her lead, hearts pounding, moving with deadly precision through the canyon. Every shadow hid danger. Every sound could be death. And yet, in the midst of terror, Lyra felt the spark of human defiance, sharp, unyielding and ready to strike back. The Predator ship had made its first move, but the cadets were already planning the next. Lyra's squad had taken cover behind jagged cliffs, hearts still pounding from the Predator ship's ambush. Dust hung thick in the canyon air, mixing with the acrid smell of burned stone and scorched machinery. They were pinned, outgunned, and every moment felt like waiting for death. Then came a sound that made Lyra freeze. A low, guttural growl echoed through the rocks, vibrating against the canyon walls. It was not mechanical. It was alive. Her pulse spiked. "What is that?" whispered Rin, eyes wide. Lyra's gaze fell on the small containment pod she had been keeping at her belt, the pod meant for emergencies. Inside, the shimmer of fur and golden eyes glimmered faintly. The Wolverine. Thought extinct, genetically enhanced for strength, speed, and senses far beyond humans. "They're hunting us," Lyra murmured almost to herself. "And maybe they don't expect this." She pressed a button and the pod hissed open. The Wolverine exploded out, muscles coiling like springs. Its claws scraped the canyon floor, sparks flying as it landed in a crouch, eyes glowing. A low snarl rolled from its throat, reverberating through the squad. Even the soldiers' own fear faltered in the presence of such raw power. "Easy, buddy, easy," Lyra said softly, holding her hands out. The Wolverine's ears twitched, and then it turned its gaze toward the shadows above. Its nostrils flared, sensing the alien ship hovering overhead. The Predator ship's drones advanced, skittering over rocks toward the humans. But the Wolverine didn't hesitate. With a leap faster than thought, it struck the first drone, claws raking through armor and circuits. Sparks flew and the drone screeched before collapsing. "Holy, did you see that?" Jack shouted, dropping his weapon in shock. Lyra didn't smile. She simply whispered, "Stay calm. Let it work with us." Another drone lunged, aiming for Rin, who barely had time to raise his shield. The Wolverine twisted midair, claws slicing cleanly through the attacker. Rin stumbled backward, eyes wide with awe. It saved me." Lyra crouched, scanning the canyon walls. "It knows the danger better than we do. Trust it, follow its lead." The Wolverine's movements were mesmerizing. It darted between rocks, each motion precise, lethal. The drones tried to strike from above, but the creature seemed to anticipate every attack, dodging, leaping, and striking in one fluid motion. The humans, inspired, began moving in coordination with it, using its instincts as a guide. "Form up behind it," Lyra yelled. "Use it as a shield and distraction." The cadets obeyed, moving in tight formation. The Wolverine growled, low and dangerous, then sprinted toward the nearest cliff edge. A massive drone lunged, claws extended. The creature leapt, raking its claws across the drone's underbelly. Sparks erupted like fireworks, and the machine collapsed over the edge, tumbling down the canyon. Rin's jaw dropped. This thing is unstoppable." Lyra didn't answer. She scanned the sky again. The alien ship pulsed with energy, appendages twitching like a predator anticipating a kill. "They've never seen this," she said quietly. "They thought they had us cornered, but they don't know we're not alone." Suddenly the Wolverine stopped. Its ears flattened, tail stiff. Something new moved across the canyon, a shadow larger than any drone, darker than the ship's hull. Its limbs were long and jagged, and its eyes burned like molten gold. The apex predator the ship had been hiding. "Everyone hold positions." Lyra barked, pulling out her plasma rifle. Her hands shook slightly, but her voice carried authority. "This is not a drill. Move smart. Move fast." The creature lunged at lightning speed. Humans scattered, diving for cover. The Wolverine met it head-on, claws slashing, teeth snapping. The impact shook the ground. Dust and small rocks sprayed into the air as the two apex predators collided, one natural, one engineered by humans, both lethal. "Go, Lyra. Don't just watch, help it." Jack shouted. She did. Using her rifle, she fired carefully aimed blasts at the alien predator, not to kill but to distract. The creature roared in frustration, staggering for a moment. That was all the Wolverine needed. It twisted, struck the creature's flank, and knocked it back into the canyon wall. The sound was deafening, a mix of a growl, metal screech, and bone-crunching impact. Rin whispered, I've never seen anything like this." Lyra's eyes narrowed, watching the predator recover slowly. "Neither have they," she said. "And that gives us an edge. Humans don't just fight, We adapt. We survive. And so does this creature. The Wolverine turned its golden eyes toward Lyra, a low rumble vibrating in its chest. It was an unspoken promise. Together they would face anything. Even a predator ship full of deadly alien hunters. Lyra smiled faintly. Let's show them exactly what humans can do. The canyon shook again as the predator ship's appendages reached for them. But Lyra didn't flinch. With the Wolverine by her side, the humans had become something the aliens had not accounted for: clever, brave, and unstoppable. The battle had just begun. The canyon was quiet again, but the silence was heavier now, thick with anticipation. Dust swirled from the earlier clash, and the acrid scent of burnt circuits lingered in the air. Lyra's squad crouched behind a jagged ridge, hearts pounding, breaths shallow. The Wolverine padded beside them, ears twitching, eyes scanning the shadows like a predator born for this moment. "They're out there," Lyra whispered, her fingers tightening on her rifle. "And they're waiting for us." From the depths of the canyon, subtle movements betrayed the presence of new threats. These were not drones, not the ship itself, but predators of flesh and claw, creatures the aliens had bred and hidden, forbidden by interstellar law. Their skin shimmered darkly, almost invisible against the rock. Only a glint of eyes betrayed their presence. "Cadets, watch the shadows," Lyra said, her voice low and firm. "They can be anywhere. Don't panic. Use your heads." A soft, clicking sound echoed from above. Jax froze, eyes scanning the cliff face. "There. Something's moving up there." Before anyone could react, a sleek creature dropped from the ledge, landing in a crouch. Its limbs were long and jointed like a mantis, claws ready. It hissed and lunged at the nearest human, Rin. He rolled, narrowly avoiding the strike, and fired his blaster. Sparks flew off the predator's armored hide, but it didn't slow. "Lyra!" Rin yelled. "It's too fast. It's everywhere." "We expected that," Lyra muttered. She ducked behind a rock and pulled out a small device, pressing a button. A series of glowing wires shot out, anchoring into the stone. A net of energy hummed to life, invisible until it shimmered under the canyon's light. "Trap set," she said calmly. "Let's see if they think they're smarter than us." The predator paused, sensing the net. It sniffed the air and hissed, then leapt forward. The energy grid snapped shut, wrapping the creature midair. Its screech echoed through the canyon, sending shivers down the squad's spines. That actually worked," Rin said, eyes wide with disbelief. Lyra shook her head. "Don't celebrate yet. There's more. They're clever, but we're cleverer." From the shadows, more predators emerged, moving like living shadows along the canyon walls. The humans had to move. Step by step they crawled and dashed, using rocks and uneven terrain to break lines of sight. The Wolverine darted ahead, marking safe paths, growling whenever a predator approached. "They follow the scent," Jax said. "They're reading us like prey." "Good," Lyra replied. "Let them think they're hunting. We'll lead them into our traps." The squad split into smaller groups, moving in precise, calculated patterns. Lyra triggered another trap, a hidden pit concealed by rocks. A predator leapt, but the ground gave way beneath it, sending it crashing into darkness below. Its screech was muffled, but not before it clawed the wall in rage. Rin gasped. We're actually doing this." The Wolverine's eyes glowed as it led the squad toward another narrow passage. From above, more predators descended, using the canyon like a jungle gym. Lyra's pulse raced, but her mind stayed sharp. "Distract it," she shouted. Jax fired a flare into the canyon floor, illuminating shadows and drawing the creature's attention. In that moment, the humans and the Wolverine moved with perfect coordination, striking, dodging, and trapping their attackers. One predator lunged at the Wolverine. The creature twisted midair, claws raking the alien's chest, then pivoted, knocking it off balance. The squad followed up with precision shots, and the predator tumbled into another energy net. Rin laughed, breathless and exhilarated. "It's like a hunt, but we're the hunters." Lyra's eyes scanned the cliffs. The predator ship still hovered above, observing, calculating. "They've never faced us like this," she said quietly. "They think humans are weak. They've never seen how smart we can be, how we adapt." The Wolverine growled low, signaling a new wave of predators approaching from a hidden crevice. Lyra crouched, placing a small explosive near the entrance. "Cover your ears," she shouted. The device detonated, rocks flying, dust exploding into the air. The predators scattered, disoriented, giving the humans a chance to move through the passage safely. Jax grinned, adrenaline fueling him. "Clever. That was brilliant. Lyra nodded, eyes sharp. Clever and careful. Every step counts. We survive by thinking, not by charging blindly. The squad moved deeper into the canyon, each step calculated, traps laid in advance, shadows used to their advantage. The Wolverine led the way, muscles coiled, eyes glowing, a perfect complement to human strategy and ingenuity. In the canyon's depths, Lyra paused, heart still pounding. We've slowed them, but this is just the beginning. They will come again, stronger and smarter. Rin swallowed hard, looking at the glowing eyes of the Wolverine. I've never been so scared, and so alive at the same time. Lyra smiled faintly, a grim, determined smile. That's what humans do. Fear sharpens us. Danger makes us clever. And predators, no matter how strong, always underestimate us. The canyon echoed with distant screeches and the hum of the predator ship above. Shadows shifted, traps waited, and humans, clever, brave and dominant, pressed onward. Every move was a statement. The apex predators had met their match. The hunt had become a chessboard, and humans were already 3 steps ahead. The canyon was eerily quiet after the last wave of predators. Lyra and her squad moved cautiously, sweat dripping from helmets, muscles tight with tension. The Wolverine padded beside them, ears flicking, eyes scanning every shadow. Even with their clever traps and precise movements, the feeling of danger lingered, but something else now stirred unease. Jax slowed, glancing over his shoulder. Cadet, something doesn't feel right. I swear I saw someone move behind that ridge. Lyra's eyes narrowed. Stay focused. Could be another predator. But as they rounded a bend, a sudden energy pulse erupted, cutting off their path. Rocks exploded into the air. Dust stung their eyes. A human figure stepped out from the smoke, their own officer, Commander Varric. His face was calm, almost smug. Varric? Lyra exclaimed. What are you doing here? This is too dangerous. He smiled coldly. Danger is exactly why I'm here, Cadet. You've done well leading your squad, but some of us see opportunity in chaos. Rin's eyes widened. You're helping them? Varric raised his hand and a hidden device activated. A signal pulsed into the canyon air. From above, drones descended, faster and deadlier than before. The squad realized with horror, the commander had betrayed them, signaling the predator ship to strike directly at Lyra's group. You traitor. Lyra spat, anger cutting through fear. You think they'll spare you? Varric's smile didn't falter. I have my own plan. You're expendable. The Wolverine growled low, back arching, eyes glowing gold. It stepped protectively in front of Lyra. The predators from earlier sensed the shift. The canyon seemed to pulse with threat. Cadets, form up. Lyra barked. We can't fight him and them at the same time, we need brains and speed. They ducked behind jagged rocks as drones struck. Energy blasts tore through stone, sending shards flying. Jax fired back, taking down one drone, but another lunged, claws extended. The Wolverine intercepted, leaping high, claws raking through its armor. Sparks and smoke filled the air, but the creature never faltered. Varric activated another device, opening a trap behind them. The ground shook. Rocks shifted, forming a wall that cut off retreat. Nowhere to run, Cadet, he said, voice smooth and cruel. Lyra clenched her fists inside her gloves, heart hammering. She studied the terrain. Even in betrayal, humans had strength, cleverness and adaptability. She spotted a narrow crevice along the canyon wall, barely wide enough for one, but enough for their Wolverine. Follow me, she whispered. Move fast. Trust the Wolverine. The squad scrambled, the Wolverine leading, muscles coiled, eyes glowing. Drones swerved and struck, but every trap Lyra had prepared earlier came alive. Tripwires, energy nets, and carefully positioned explosives triggered by her remote device. One drone crashed, another toppled into a pit. Varric's expression darkened. Clever, but not enough. Lyra gritted her teeth. Brains over brute force, Varric. You'll see the difference. The Wolverine spun, striking another drone before it could reach Rin. Jax ducked behind a boulder, firing at Varric's device. Sparks flew. I can disable it, Lyra. Cover me. Do it, she yelled. The squad coordinated instinctively, timing each movement, each shot. Humans had fought predators before, now they were adapting to betrayal as well. Varric growled, stepping forward, trying to manually override the device. The Wolverine lunged, claws extended, striking him across the chest. He stumbled, almost losing his balance. Impossible, he spat, glaring at the creature. Lyra seized the moment. She sprinted, vaulting over rocks, and slammed her hand onto the device. Sparks exploded, screens flickered, and the signal cut. The drones froze midair before crashing harmlessly into the canyon. Rin gasped, adrenaline flooding him. We did it. Not yet, Lyra said, scanning the cliffs. Varric was regaining his footing, rage twisting his face. He's dangerous, but humans never quit. She gritted her teeth and charged, Wolverine at her side. Together they struck like a single unit. The Wolverine's claws shredded Varric's armor, and Lyra's precise strikes forced him back, step by step. Varric stumbled, looking around at the humans and the apex creature. You don't understand, you're lucky, he hissed. You're the one who doesn't understand, Lyra said, breathing hard, eyes blazing. You can betray us, but humans fight smarter. We survive. We adapt. And we always dominate. With a final coordinated strike from Lyra and the Wolverine, Varric fell to his knees, disarmed and defeated. The canyon fell silent again, the only sound the ragged breathing of humans and the low, satisfied growl of their apex companion. Jax exhaled shakily. I never thought I'd see a human and that thing work together like that. Lyra shook her head, voice calm but firm. This is what humans do. When threatened, when betrayed, we find strength in each other and in the creatures we bond with. Predators may stalk us, allies may turn, but we fight back. And we win. The Wolverine stepped forward, nudging her hand with its head. Lyra knelt and stroked its fur, a silent promise passing between them. Together, nothing would stop them. The Predator ship above had underestimated humans once again. And humans, clever and brave, were already planning their next move. The Predator ship hovered above the canyon like a shadow of death. Its black, jagged hull pulsed with energy, appendages twitching like the limbs of some giant spider. Inside, Lyra could feel the ship's sensors scanning, calculating, hunting. She crouched behind a ridge with her squad, the Wolverine growling low at her side. This ends tonight, she whispered, teeth gritted. We've been hunted long enough. Jax nodded, checking his rifle. We're really going up against that thing? Directly? Yes, Lyra said. Brains, speed, teamwork. And the Wolverine. That's our advantage. The humans had a plan, audacious, dangerous, but brilliant. They would split the ship's attention, lure the predators out, and strike at the vessel itself. Lyra glanced at the glowing eyes of their apex companion. The Wolverine flicked its tail, anticipation shining in its stance. It understood. Follow me, she said, sprinting toward a narrow crevice that led to the canyon wall, barely wide enough for her. The Wolverine darted ahead, muscles coiled, eyes scanning. The squad followed, moving silently but fast, hearts pounding. Above them, the ship shifted, appendages swinging, drones peeling off to hunt. A predator descended, long claws scraping rock. The Wolverine met it mid-leap, claws raking, teeth snapping. Sparks flew as metal met muscle. Lyra fired a short burst at another predator, striking its energy core and sending it tumbling into the canyon. Move, she yelled. Keep going. They reached a hidden outcropping, overlooking the ship's hull. Lyra activated a hacking device, sending pulses into the predator ship's systems. Sparks erupted across its surface as it hissed in anger. Drones screeched, scrambling to repair the damage, but the humans weren't finished. Rin, plant the charges, she ordered. The cadet scrambled forward, carefully setting explosives along the ship's vulnerable nodes. Jax and Lyra covered him, firing at drones that tried to intercept. Varric, defeated but not dead, appeared from a nearby ridge, dragging himself forward. You think you can destroy it? You're insane. Lyra's eyes narrowed. Humans are insane enough to survive anything, Varric. You just found out the hard way. The Wolverine growled, muscles tense, tail flicking. It darted at Varric, forcing him back into the shadows. Sparks flew as it struck his armor. He fell, groaning. The charges were set. Lyra tapped her device. The explosives detonated in a synchronized pulse. Fire and shock waves erupted across the ship's hull. Sparks and smoke roared, some appendages falling away, others twitching violently. The ship screeched, thrumming like a wounded animal. Everyone fall back to the ridge. Lyra yelled. They sprinted, dodging debris and falling drones. The Wolverine led, leaping over shattered rocks and scorched metal, teeth bared, claws extended. The Predator ship retaliated, lowering a massive claw. Lyra's heart raced, but she didn't hesitate. Using her rifle, she fired at the claw's joint, aiming for weak points. Sparks sprayed, metal bent. The claw scraped the ridge harmlessly, missing them by inches. Not bad for humans, a distorted voice hissed through the ship's comm system. But you cannot win. Watch us, Lyra spat, adrenaline surging. The Wolverine roared, leaping toward another drone attempting a flanking maneuver. Its claws shredded the attacker before it even realized the threat. Humans and apex predator moved as one. Instinct, intelligence and raw power combined. Jax fired another precise shot, disabling the ship's shield generator. Lyra hacked further, opening the hull panels. The human team advanced, using ropes and grapples to climb toward the weakened sections. Sparks and smoke sprayed with every step. The ship shuddered violently, appendages flailing like wounded tentacles. Rin looked at Lyra, fear and excitement shining in his eyes. We can actually do this? Yes, Lyra said. We've outsmarted them at every turn. Now we finish this. Humans never back down. They reached the core chamber. Lyra planted the final explosive, setting the countdown. The Wolverine stood beside her, growling low, eyes glowing with a warning that seemed almost human. Time to go, Lyra shouted. The squad raced down ropes as the countdown hit 0. The core detonated and the ship erupted in fire, metal and energy. A massive shockwave rolled through the canyon, tossing the remaining drones and predators into the air. The apex predator ship shrieked one final time before crashing into the canyon floor, broken and defeated. The squad tumbled to the ground, coughing, hearts racing. The Wolverine landed beside Lyra, tail flicking, growl softening into a low rumble of satisfaction. We did it, Rin whispered, staring at the smoldering wreck. Lyra looked up at the sky, chest heaving. We did more than survive. We showed them exactly what humans are capable of. Clever, brave, dominant. They underestimated us. They always do. The Wolverine nudged her hand. Lyra smiled faintly, stroking its fur. It had been more than a companion. It had been a partner, an apex warrior fighting alongside humans. Together, they had turned the hunt into a victory. Jax laughed, shaking his head. I never imagined humans could take on something like that and win. Never imagine underestimating us, Lyra said, eyes glinting with determination. Humans survive. Humans fight smart. And humans always adapt. The canyon fell silent except for the soft rumble of the Wolverine and the distant hiss of fire. Above, the wrecked predator ship smoldered, a monument to human ingenuity, courage, and dominance. Lyra straightened, looking at her squad. Let's go home, she said. The humans and their apex companion moved together, leaving the shadows of the canyon behind. Predators may have hunted them, betrayals may have struck, but humans had proven once again, nothing could match their mind, their courage, or their will to survive.